Welcome, good afternoon, and welcome to the State Council on Developmental Disabilities Festival of Learning and Ideas. I'm Sarah May. I'm the manager of the North State Office of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, and we have a wonderful program to share with you today. But before we get started, I would like to give a shout out to Charlotte Endress, who is our colleague at the headquarters. Oh, can you do it? Oh, there she is. I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Charlotte, again, who works at our headquarters office in Sacramento. She has been a wonderful help providing us assistance and will be helping us with some technical support today for our event. So thank you so much, Charlotte. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Sarah. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. We can't do it without you, girl. So I also want to acknowledge and thank my colleagues and creators of this festival. Laura Larson, manager of the North Coast Regional Office, and Mary Ellen Stives, manager of the San Diego Imperial Regional Office. It was Laura and Mary Ellen who, like I said, created this festival and were kind enough to invite me to join the festival to explore and highlight creative projects being developed around the state. It is so important that we share ideas and learn from each other to continue the advancement of innovative practices within our service system. The pandemic has escalated the need to approach services alternatively, and in a sense, has pushed us forward to develop new ways of supporting people. This can only help transition our services to prepare for the federal home and community-based service settings compliance rule that has now been extended to March 17th, 2023. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Mary Ellen, who will share a little more information about why this festival was developed and where our road trip has taken us so far. Take it away, Mary Ellen.
Thank you, Sarah, and welcome everybody. The Festival of Learning was originally planned to be an in-person fair to promote new ideas and services that would help people to achieve competitive integrated employment. Thanks to COVID-19, not something you hear often, we have been able to reach more people to share these fantastic opportunities statewide. And again, we thank you for joining us today. Our first festival was a brilliant overview provided by Kirk Hinkleman and Beth Gallagher on the 5 valued experiences: choosing, belonging, contributing, being respected, and sharing ordinary places. By obtaining these, you obtain a valued social role, such as community presence, participation, autonomy, and competency. These are foundational and often referred to as the pillars of support, vital in assisting people to achieve their dreams. The second festival offered real-life examples of how these experiences begin in school by developing meaningful, person-driven plans, which are working documents that expand and grow with the individual. Self-advocates and their services were excited to share their experiences with us, and we learned how Jalen began a micro-enterprise, but he continues to want more education to advance his skills. So upon graduating next month, he plans on attending community college. We met Kai, who works in a vineyard and attends classes at a community college, and someday wants to be a vintner. Cindy has a thriving art business, and Kevin, who started Kevin the Baker with his passion for baking. This festival, I'm not sure Festival 1, but I know Festival 2 is still available on the State Council website if anyone would care to go back and look at these individuals. But for today, please enjoy these presentations and see how services can meet your needs and support your dreams. If you have any questions during the presentation, please put them in the chat box and we'll try to manage those and save questions and answers till the end. And if you'd like to let us know where you're from, please feel free to put that in the chat also. And for now, I will turn it over to Laura Larson.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see you today. This is the week of Thanksgiving, And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do to support people in the state of California, or actually wherever you're from, because we've got some folks from outside of the state. But I want to thank you and tell you good job. It's been a hard time, but we've learned a lot of positive things. I have a little story I want to read to you that was written by Heather Simmons. Heather Simmons is a Scottish writer who wrote some really interesting stories for an annual report for an agency called Sea Change Scotland. And this one really touched me, and I hope you enjoy it. I think it reflects the work that you do. Jade in the Pink Palace. The young woman's house is a palace of pink where unicorns run wild and free. Crystals sparkle and shimmer on the windows. Walking through the door, you feel that magic might happen, and perhaps it has. The harsh reality of the lockdown threatened to disturb this place. There were fears that the woman would find it too difficult, would react badly. The worst thing is that she couldn't go out and she could not see her family. There were worries that the Pink Palace might turn into a pink prison. She said that the lockdown was horrendous, but as we talked, she described achievements and laughs and relationships that flourished. She talked about watching the news every night and how the scariness of the daily announcements about the virus was made less scary as the people she knew and trusted, the people on her team, explained it to her and reassured her that she had this, that they would be with her and it would be all right. Things changed, of course. Gym visits became craft days. Eating out became culinary adventures with a slow cookers. Meals were full of health and goodness. A holiday was planned far into the future, far enough away to feel that there was a good chance that it would actually happen. And as time passed, 2 dress sizes were dropped and new clothes were bought for the holiday. By the end of our conversation, the lockdown had become horrendous, but also a little bit fabulous. All the time, the drip, drip, drip of safe and true information. The young woman was reassured, and as the reassurance found a settled place in her, confidence grew. She had this. They would be with her. And they were, and she did. And the magic worked, but it wasn't the unicorns and crystals and the magic of pink. A deeper magic was at work. Trust, honesty, loyalty, belief, and maybe a bit of love thrown into the mix. That is the magic of all of you, and I honor you. Thank you, Sarah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, we have such a treat for you guys today. So we are going to shift gears, but before we do, I want to reiterate again that we want to know who you are and where you're from. So if it's convenient for you, we would love to hear from you through the chat box and introduce yourself. Who are you? Tell us where you are. And if you feel like it, include your email address so we can reach out to you. And you can ask us questions, whatever, but we would love to hear from you. So with that being said, like I said, we've got a treat for you. Where are we going with this here? We are going to visit this really great agency that's in Chico, California called Mains'l Services, who has used creativity from their staff and students to develop unique experiences, not only for the students and staff, but for the entire community. And I would like to welcome Ann Silcher, Executive Director, Lynn Kennedy, Senior Manager, and Michael Bone, Program Services Coordinator, as they take us on a ride through their creative sales. Take it away, Mains'l.
Hi, Thank you. Laura, that was a lovely story you told. I might have to repeat that one to the family. I got a little baby with me, so excuse any babbles we get. I'm Michael from Mains'l. I'm before the pandemic, I did a lot of music and art teaching, and among other things. But when this COVID lockdown thing happened, most of us could relate, things changed drastically. Yeah, and I quickly built an online presence for our program, which is arts based, which is a difficult thing to do on Zoom. But over the last 9 months or so, have been figuring out really fun ways of still connecting with everybody. Oh yes, of connecting with everybody and really making something special. I've enjoyed finding ways where virtual learning not only is a good replacement for what we used to do, but also can like thrive. And I've made breakthroughs with people. She's playing with Play-Doh. Here. Sorry. Anyways, our Mains'l, we have a vision where everybody lives with meaning and purpose, and we provide innovative supports to people responding to their hopes and dreams, and that's what I've continued to do. I kind of let that lead my way as far as figuring out technological stuff or just how to keep connecting with people during all this, and not only connect, but be able to teach and do all the fun things I love to do in person, but try to create an analog for that. So I have a video here to share for everybody. And it'll explain a little bit better what I'm talking about, some of our online stuff we've been doing. At the end, there's a bit from Minneapolis, which is Mains'l started over there and then also is in Chico, two very different cities, but under one umbrella. So that's why I mentioned Minneapolis in there. Anyways, I think that's it. I've got it all ready. If were we all good to go, Laura, with the video?
Yes, yes, we want to see your video. Play it away. Let's go sailing.
All right, yeah. Sail along with me here. Let me share my screen to this. Share. Okay. This is the Mains'l Distance Learning YouTube channel. Make sure my sound is on. To share. Oh, okay. Got it. So it starts out with our Mains'l Distance Learning YouTube channel, and it goes from there. This is the Mains'l YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube by typing in the search bar, Mains'l Distance Learning. You can even find it by just typing in Mains'l. Here we are with the sailboat logo. In our channel, you'll find all sorts of different videos from creative writing, dance, art, yoga, cooking even. You name it, we've been teaching it. From all the staff at 7th Street and innovations at Mains'l. There are dozens and dozens of these videos. Let's check one out. Here's one I created on drawing, using a horizon line, drawing the room you're sitting in. It's my living room. And let's click on another one. This is Nikki's ASL, that's American Sign Language class. Here she's teaching some warm-ups and a little bit of the alphabet as well. If you're in the mood for learning, this is the right place to come. And it's available for our students, and it's also available for anyone else that wants to check it out. As you can see, the list of classes goes on and on. there's other ways to browse the channel as well. We have curated playlists where the different types of classes are grouped together so that you can find them a little easier. On the playlist page, you'll find the different videos along the right in this bar. As you can see, there's dozens of videos just on art that I've created. Well, let's sail over to another boat. This next boat features our comics class. Comics is one of my favorite parts of the week, where we meet up on Zoom, and each person that joins the class is assigned a different character in the comics. Here we are reading a version of Wizard of Oz that's really fun and a little bit different than the movie, but each student I have minimized to the right, and we have one person reading for the Scarecrow, one for the Lion, one for Dorothy, etc. And it's fun because we get to work on our character voices and our reading out loud, and everybody really feels involved with the process, and it's as close as we've come to being able to be theatrical in these times. Though we are working on some other ways to do that as well.
I found myself looking at everything around with me with a great deal of curiosity. This was my first glimpse of the world.
We've gotten through a Spider-Man and checked out a couple other ones as well. It's a class favorite for sure. Here we have game show class, which is different every week, but here we're playing Mad Libs. And in order to do this, I have my iPad hooked up to my computer, and I'm able to put Zoom screens as well as a video of me up there in the sun, and what I'm drawing on the iPad on the left side of the screen. That way everybody can be very clear as to where we are in the game, and we can all feel very connected this way. And game show is so much fun to create new and exciting ways to play together. Here I am in music class. So music class, we do things like songwriting, lyric writing. Here we're working on music production, where I've actually taken samples of each of my drums that are behind me and mapped them to a keyboard so I'm able to play my drums on a keyboard. In this class, we have fun learning about different production techniques and all sorts of musical excitement. Let's back up into my studio here. You can see my computer with my iPad in front of it, and I've got a microphone hanging so I have decent audio with my keyboard. Oh, don't forget the coffee. All my art supplies are to the left. And then behind me is all my music equipment, which is all sort of plugged into my computer so anybody can hear what I'm doing. Going back in. So that's music production. The next boat we have coming up is our friends over at Innovations. Here's an interview with Sinclair.
Hi, I'm Sinclair, and I've been here at Mains'l Innovations for over 5 years. And this program is a good place to be at.
And I'm Mary. I'm Sinclair's mother, and we've been having a really good time with the program.
Excellent. Thank you both so much for coming in and doing this today. Sinclair, what was it like for you when the program first shut down because of COVID?
What was it like? It was, I suppose it was like maybe, I wouldn't say a shock, but I guess it was kind of what have we done because of the whole COVID thing? Which is already getting used to since that time. I've been just keeping stuff occupied with that stuff. Like, what are we doing for online classes and pretty much whatever else just to do in spare time.
What was it like for you, Mary?
It was a little strange initially, just because I think he was so accustomed to being, in class in person, and then he wasn't actually physically going anywhere, and we weren't really sure how education was going to be taking place in the first place. So it was a little bit, a little bit uncertain, and it just created that feeling of uncertainty.
And Sinclair, you mentioned online classes.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like when the distance learning first started up?
New,
yeah. Were there any issues with it getting started?
no.
What did you like about it, or what do you like about it?
Well, I get to see people I don't see in a while. Who's on the class? Whoever's on the class, I get to see for one's class. It's fun.
Yeah. And Mary, what did you like about it, and were there any challenges for you when you're getting started?
It didn't really feel challenging because the way that it was laid out, it made it so accessible for him to actually use. And the other part I really appreciated was it gave me this sense of how connected he is to the people that are here. And there's this way to keep that connection going, through the internet, so that he wasn't feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm missing all my people. And then he's still learning and, gaining new skills also.
Do you feel like there's been any kind of effect to your home life having the distance learning classes, Sinclair?
And
how about you, Mary?
Not really, other than, he is so good at knowing exactly what time the class is going to start and how to get there and all of that, and then I'll hear him in the living room cracking up at something, and so it doesn't feel disruptive other than him actually physically being in the house all the time and doing it, but he has such a good time that, it's kind of fun to watch.
That's great to hear. Sinclair, how do you access the online classes?
How to access the online classes? Normally, whoever the host is sends out a link, and I get on a link, and
do you use a laptop computer or a phone? What do you use?
I have been using the phone. I do have a laptop, but I haven't used it for that kind of thing.
Great.
Also, recently you have come back to work and started working again here in the print shop. What does having a job mean to you?
What am I talking? It's an interesting challenge in life, and I do enjoy working. This is also something that gives me something to do.
Excellent. And how about for you, Mary? What does Sinclair working mean for you?
I think that he's always seems to be learning new skills, and I think that there's a really strong sense of accomplishment, and like he's actually contributing, but also that he's learning, and he does such a good job, that it's really fun for him. And I've just seen him blossom. It's just really great.
How has it been different since coming back and working, under COVID protocols, we'll say?
I've already gotten used to it.
Gotten used to it already?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. What about it has been working for you? What about it has been good?
Let's see what happened. Let's see. I guess coming here and doing the whole safety protocol type thing first, and then going to work.
Excellent. And what would you change about it?
What would change about it? I just want nothing. Because I don't really know what I change about it.
And for you, Mary, what about it has been good from your perspective? And is there anything that you'd like to change about it?
I don't think that there's anything I could say that's negative about it. The way that you've all got it laid out for protocol when they come in, I think for our family, You know, transportation, getting him here is a whole nother thing because now he's not taking the city bus, which is a good thing, I think, you know, for safety reasons. I think he'll be really glad when everything opens back up, but I think that he's really glad that he can still come.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much. Yeah, that's about all the questions I have. Is there anything else about this experience that either one of you would like to share? Very wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right.
My name is Conan, and this is how I do my Zoom classes. First up, we have Zoom miniature painting, where I use the phone as a focus camera, and then I have everybody on Zoom on the laptop. For this class, a special miniature paint kit was sent home with a wet palette, brushes, paints, and miniatures to paint. This is Zoom drawing. Like miniature painting, I use the 2-camera system. The phone camera is signed into the Zoom group, and I spotlight it so you see what I'm drawing in real time as I'm drawing it and can follow along.
Let's get some of these guidelines out of our way now. And we can see this line here shows us where his eyes are going to be, so he's got these.
And my personal favorite, Zoom RPG, Starfinder. This is a space set RPG, so aliens and adventure abound. Once again, I use the 2-camera setup with Zoom on the laptop and the phone signed into Zoom. This is what the students see in the spotlight video, and I'm able to facilitate their movements and what they want their character to do on the board.
Hi, I'm just here to talk about one of the projects we've been doing through our Zoom classes. For the last few weeks, we've been working on color theory. And to begin, we started, or actually this was the middle, doing color mixing techniques. And we turned in one of these sheets to each student that attends art class and taught them how to mix primary and secondary colors in order to get tertiary colors. So a lot of vocabulary involved. And then we're getting ready for our final project, which is creating a color wheel in a creative way. And this one will be a flower. I'm just preparing this for Friday. This is a representation of the color wheel, starting with primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, and secondary colors, green, orange, and purple, or violet. And then today, what we did is we painted dice, and I decided to go along with the whole color theory, and we created fun dice in craft class to coincide with color theory.
Yay!
Here's red is a primary, and its complement is the secondary color green.
This is where we put together our packets full of class materials and art supplies and send home worksheets. We just have an area for each student, and we collate all the things that we're sending home to that particular student and then pack them up in an envelope, and they're delivered by one of our staff. These are some art supplies that we are sending home for a couple of different projects that our students will be working on throughout the week. We have a mask and some dice that they'll be decorating. Also some coloring implements to create a color wheel, and as well as some fun tack, which is a product that a couple of our students who have difficulties with their fine motor skills will use to secure their art projects to their work surface so that they can work on it better. And then we drop them off at their homes.
See you Friday.
See you Friday.
Hey Taylor, how are you today?
Not bad, Julie. How are you doing?
I'm good. So we're just hoping to share with people, you have been doing so much amazing work during the quarantine, doing a lot of virtual supports with people. So I'm hoping you'll take a little bit of time to share with us about the virtual supports you've been providing.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the virtual support I've been doing the most has been creative writing, especially through Google Docs, which is kind of like an online platform where multiple people can see the same document. So you can do stories and writing through that, or you can even do more things like scheduling or coming up with ideas, or just, you know, anything that you would use any old regular doc for, like on Microsoft or otherwise.
Okay, that's awesome. And how do you go about scheduling a virtual ILS session?
Oh, so when scheduling, usually I'll do that in advance. I'll either call students on the phone or I'll send them a text message, whatever their preference is for that kind of communication. Usually before we start the session too, I will send them a reminder about it. Just because sometimes it's a little bit different when it's virtual versus in person, like if someone's going to show up. So that just kind of helps to prepare them for that. When it comes to virtual ILS, just something that I had on my mind, I think it can be really different to start, but once you do start it and people become used to it, I think that ultimately it kind of just becomes a routine and just something that people, you know, adapt to. So I think that it's definitely possible and it's a good thing. So.
Okay, thank you so much, Taylor.
My name is Elizabeth Shuck and I work for Mains'l as a pantry specialist. I chose to work through COVID because it helps people through these times, and it also keeps me distracted from the negativity going on, and being at work and helping people is something positive, and I really enjoy it.
Now let's sail over to Minnesota to see us out.
At Mains'l, our goal is not to weather this storm, but to harness the power of the hurricane. And together we're going to do just that. So I'm confident that it is you, our crew, it's the people we support, the people we employ, and all our families and partners that are going to get us safely to the opposite shore. Sincerely and humbly from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. We deeply appreciate all that you do and all that you bring, and we know that together we are better. Thank you, and God bless.
Well,
Wow.
have it.
That's just the first thing I can say is wow.
Since we finished the video, we've thought of many new things, other ways of serving people as well. So, yeah, there's a little slice of life these days. Thank you.
Well, that was absolutely amazing. And I was hoping that truly, even though you guys are muted, if we could just all just join in a celebration. Woo! It was just so enjoyable and so inspiring. And I really want to open up the chat room for any questions or comments. Mains'l services they really are as magical as that video. They have done so many creative things and have adapted to our changing times. We are really proud and honored to be working with Mains'l and to have them within the North State region. So don't be shy. And again, if you just have comments, but please, we are opening up that chat box. If you have any questions, I'm sure that they just didn't all of a sudden one day make that video. It's always a process. I was sitting there thinking to myself, how we always have to start small when it comes to these alternative services and how to do things differently. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So there's always baby steps. And I will say it is helpful that Michael is so talented and has such a passion for the technology. Having staff truly on your crew, it's helpful if they are a little more techno savvy during these times. I might not be of very good use to people since technology is a little bit challenging for me, but I'm so in awe of what is possible.
Thank you. Yeah, having a background with music technology and also visual art and those type of things and how I can connect things together on the screen really helps. Instead of just talking to a camera, back and forth, adding other elements in there that can be manipulated, whether it be like a drawing surface or a text box or other things to look at instead of just, because face-to-face Zooming works for certain things, but there's a lot of other things that you can do through screen sharing or those type of things.
So there was a question in the chat box of how can people access the learning portal, the distant learning channel. So Michael, do you mind?
Sure. Yeah, on YouTube, if you just type in Mains'l, that's Mainsl, it's right in there. So yeah, it's just on YouTube, a lot of the videos. And nowadays we're doing 4 Zoom lessons every day of the week. So 20 Zoom lessons a week. And then maybe 3 or 4 new videos come up on YouTube every week as well. So it could be all sorts of things. How do I develop your classes via Zoom to serve your students? We have had a kind of a rotating schedule at 7th Street pre-pandemic that included choir and a lot of music related classes. And then there was a theater portion and then visual arts and also written arts like poetry and things like that. So we sort of stay in that realm. Though I think we're open to just whatever we think would be engaging and fun. Like, so there's been a popular game show class, which I showed a little bit of it on there, but we've had luck with like playing team chess together or playing all sorts of different things.
I also will add in that especially innovation students has chosen their classes in the past, and so they continue to add new classes upon request. If students have a eagerness to learn a specific subject or bring a specific game to it, then we can create that as a Zoom class moving forward too. And I think, Michael, you would share that you all as well kind of survey the students to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've worked with a lot of the same people for years now, so I'm pretty familiar with a lot of their, the passions and the things that they're into. So I try to cater to that, as well as keep up to date on any new happenings.
Great. There was a question in here earlier about transportation. I believe someone asked if we provide transportation. And we do not provide direct transportation. However, we do support people in learning the public bus system here in Butte County. So that is something that we do, but we do not provide direct door-to-door transportation.
And tell people about the bus guide program that you have. I think that'd be really interesting to people.
Certainly. So it's what I just mentioned. We do support people in learning the local, here in Butte County, it's the B-Line. Public transportation. It is a peer-to-peer program. And so we have people that are employed as bus guides that know the routes, know the bus drivers, and will successfully teach people how to ride the public bus. And if it's someone that needed maybe just a little bit more support, they also can ride certain routes with people as well.
There was also a question, Anne, about what do you do if a student needs support using the technology?
So I think Michael can speak to this, but I'll just start and then Michael can add in. We've done a lot of in-house tech support. So anyone that has had trouble getting on, we've also deployed a small team to get people the technology that they need. Michael, do you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I try to make it as clear and accessible when I send like a message or email. So instead of using a lot of, copy and pastable stuff, I try to make everything into links so that they can just click it when they need to. Or I try to be very sequential with the way I word things. Sorry, baby. Just making it really fail-safe as far as how to connect. For people that don't have the technology, those who have wanted it, we've been able to get them the technology. There are a number of people that just aren't interested in it as well, but I'd say that's the minority.
And I would say that we've accessed, and here in Butte County, there's a lot of community resources, churches that have bought people tablets. So definitely, it's not going to hurt to ask around if you're in need of something. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to give an old computer to someone that may not have access, or like I said, there's a lot of churches that have given tablets to many of our students.
Do you have a little story, a success story of somebody that was afraid of the technology and was really leery of participating in the Zoom classes, and now is like, you know, a master of the trade?
I don't know that there's somebody that was afraid of it that I can think of, but there's been several students that we've gotten feedback from them and their support at home that they've really opened up more than in person, just from doing things online, especially people that aren't that are maybe nonverbal. Being like, it's a lot of one-on-one time that maybe we don't get to do all the time. Being in a class of 20 or so, it's fun to be able to be one-on-one with somebody for so long, or even if you're with other people, it feels like you're one-on-one. Yeah, so there's definitely been a couple students I can think of that have learned some new skills. Their drawings and writings have like vastly improved, even though we've had those classes for years. So I don't know exactly why it's improving faster during the Zoom, but I am finding those surprises.
I just was talking to a student that thinks that they don't need to see anyone in person now. They can do their life through Zoom now.
Yeah.
I thought, well, all right. Well, right now that's great, but maybe in the future we can consider other options.
That's funny. So I don't know if I'm giving away that it was me, but I did ask a question that said, you know, what can you tell us about, you know, how does the staff stay motivated, you know, to continue being creative and, you know, keeping it fresh, and, you know, what can you tell us about the staff support and
I can
motivation?
speak for myself. I just like to do so many things anyways, and I teach elsewhere. So I'm involved in a lot of like teacher blogs where people are sharing things that they're doing that are working in the classroom. And you can find those on Facebook, or you can find them just looking up like distance learning teachers. There's all sorts of things like that to find some new ideas maybe I wouldn't think of myself. Also, I just to satisfy my own creativity, I've had to figure out things. So anything I get excited about, I try to bring to my classes. So yeah, just trying to keep myself active and creative through music or through art or through playing games with people on Zoom. I found out things that I can carry back to Mains'l and use with students or teach them about, or show the possibilities of. And also just the challenge, I think, for me of trying to come up with something new so often it sparks ideas.
I have a gut feeling that your daughter, who has joined us today, Maple, is going to be the next Mains'l instructor for these distant learning. I bet she already knows how to work that computer.
Not this one yet, but the other one's getting close. This one's just I have to figure out something to do with her with one hand while I do something else with the other hand. Doesn't happen very often that I'm that I'm without support in that direction.
Well, I think it's important to mention that Mains'l was also featured in this year's Supported Life Conference, and the world had the pleasure of viewing this amazing video, and we just really want to thank Mains'l Services for just, you know, being able to carry on with so much creativity, and, you know, I just really, you know, keep thinking outside the box and trial and error. I mean, you guys have really just done a fabulous job. So I want to just say that for the audience here is, keep adding your comments or questions. We've tried to provide contact information, where to find all those wonderful classes in the YouTube distant learning channel. You, like Michael said, you could just look up Mains'l distant learning. You could look up distant learning, but remember, those hundreds of classes are for us all. So there's no reason that another program that's all the way in the different part of the state, you know, they can be accessing these classes. So these are for our community. And that's what the emphasis of our festival is about, is sharing ideas, strengthening our service system, but really about creating a community for all. So with that being said, we're going to carry on, get back into our boat, and we're going to move along the waters to visit another amazing organization that we are so lucky and fortunate in the North State region. And now, buckle up. Now we're going to visit We Care a Lot Foundation in Reading. And we're going to hear more about what We Care a Lot Foundation does, because they are very unique to any region. But they are working to create a peer-to-peer new program called Getting Connected. Guess what? It's about technology. This is the coolest program, and they have responded to the needs in our community. And as always, We Care a Lot Foundation is delivering in the most creative way. So please welcome Brandy, Cedars, Program Coordinator, to share the creativity of their agency and their new program, Getting Connected. Take it away, Brandy.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, Sarah, for that wonderful introduction. My presentation is not as awesome as Mains'l. That was fantastic, you guys. That was great. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what We Care a Lot does and the new programs that we are working on. So We Care a Lot has been around for a while, and we provide self-advocacy training and services for individuals in the far northern catchment area. With COVID, that seems to be expanding a little bit, because as we are more and more online, more people have access to what we're doing. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is People First, really quick. Most of our chapters are now doing their meetings via Zoom, which is really cool. It was a little chaotic at first, getting everybody together and, you know, who was going to talk when, but they're definitely figuring it out. And before COVID happened, we started working on the 50th anniversary of People First and planning an international People First conference. So we have connected with people internationally to plan this conference for 2024. So hopefully everything will be straightened out a little bit by then, and we can actually have this conference. But it's been really neat to connect with those individuals, mostly from the UK, but that's been really cool to connect with them. We're working on using Eventbrite to list all of our presentations and meetings on there, so that people can just go to Eventbrite and look for us and see what we have coming up. With the help of the State Council, we did our voter information meetings before this last election, where we went through and reviewed all of the propositions on the ballot and helped people understand those, and so they could decide how they wanted to vote, because the propositions really seemed to be daunting for people, and we hope that we were able to explain those so people could decide how they wanted to vote on those. Our Respect Yourself program, which is a healthy relationship sexuality course for adults with developmental disabilities, is doing their first Zoom series. So I believe it's 6 or 7 classes, and they are doing that group via Zoom, which has gone very well so far. They're doing a women's series right now. They have a men's series scheduled and a me and you series. So those are available if you go to wecarealot.org or respect.eventbrite.com. You can get access to those classes there. And on our website, you could see all the information for the different classes. All of our other programs, we have abuse prevention, we have our Feeling Safe, Being Safe, which is our emergency preparedness program. Our SAY program, we have a Way to Work that teaches work skills. Those are all working right now on going online so that we can present via Zoom. So those will be up and running very shortly. Our new programs, really quick, we're calling it We Caroline, and we are receiving referrals from Far Northern to call people that are stuck at home. And it's just to have a conversation, let people know there's somebody out there thinking about them, just, you know, if somebody needs to talk, so that we're getting some connection with people there. And then Get Connected is our newest program. And I'm so excited about this. I am the actual manager for this program. So we're super excited. So the goal of the program is to bring technology to people in their homes who, because of COVID, you know, day programs are shut down, or some people, even if their programs are open, they're too high risk to attend those programs. So our goal is to, we meet with the person, find out what their needs are, what program they're attending, so we know what platform they'll be using, Zoom, GoToMeetings, whatever they're going to be using, YouTube, if they're going to be watching the videos via YouTube. And then we kind of figure out what exactly they need. We purchase, so far we've purchased Chromebooks. iPads are an option if the person doesn't have access to internet or Wi-Fi, because with an iPad, we can actually have that internet built right into the device, so they wouldn't need the Wi-Fi or anything like that. But the Chromebooks are very simple to use, so that's our goal, is to get the Chromebooks for people. I do have an IT specialist that is working with me right now, and he puts safety controls on them, make sure they have antivirus software, make sure all the apps that they need are downloaded, and then we deliver those to the individuals and teach them how to use them. So we'll teach them how to access Zoom, set up accounts, that kind of stuff. And then we also provide ongoing support for them on an ongoing basis, as long as they're part of the program. So if they have a problem with their internet, they can just call us, and if we can't walk them through it, we'll go out and see what the problem is. So they'll have that ongoing tech support as long as they are participating in the program. The peer-to-peer part is going to come in, because we hope to hire our tech specialists. We're hoping to hire people with disabilities. It'll be competitive employment. But also we have facilitator positions available. And what that person would do, if somebody's really having a hard time, you know, accessing their Zoom, and they're just having such a hard time and they're not getting it, we will hire a facilitator to actually go out and be with them while they're doing their classes. So they'll have somebody right there with them that can help them get onto their Zoom meeting or access the YouTube channel that they need, or something like that. So I see a huge potential with this program. I'm already getting referrals. People just need to call their service coordinator and let them know that they need this to access their day programs. And then the service coordinators have a referral form that they send over to me. But we're super, super excited about it. I think that this is going to open up a whole new world for a lot of people, because right now the technology is a necessity. I mean, we're all right here today using this awesome technology. So people really need this, and they need to have this access. So we're hoping that we can be that agency that gets that technology to people and provide that ongoing support for them, because I'm constantly needing some kind of tech support. So being able to provide that on an ongoing basis, I think, is really awesome as well. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about the programs that we have going on right now? I'm looking
Hi,
at
there's a few messages in the chat box if you'd like me to read those out to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, let's see. So the first question is, how do people get involved in this new program? Do they have to be going to a day program to receive the service? And how many people do you think you will hire?
We will hire based on need. So it depends. If as we need more tech support, we will hire for that. Right now, we're starting off with Shasta, Tehama, and Butte counties because we can serve those people the fastest. So we're starting there. The program really is designed for people to access day programs. But they can also use it for social interaction as well. I know a lot of programs are doing social things as well, not just day program classes. So that is available as well.
I think you touched a little on that, Brandy, but so you encourage people, if they're interested, to talk to their service coordinator?
Yes.
So for a referral?
Yes, yes. This is funded through Far Northern Regional Center, so it has to come to me through a referral from the service coordinator.
Oh, I want to really make sure that Zach Hill asks, it looks like you have a question, Zach. Would you be more comfortable taking yourself off mute? Can you do that and just go ahead and just ask that question? There you go.
Yes, I know. I know you said to send, I believe your name's Brandy, to send something to you if people wanted to join. What would be the good email address to send it to?
So if you want to be part of the Get Connected program, you have to actually go through your service coordinator and they will send me a referral so we can get you started.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Brandy, this is Mary Ellen. Just to be clear, do you have to live in one of those counties to receive those services?
So right now, that's where we're starting, Shasta, Tehama, and Butte counties, just so we can, to get them started. But it will be, our program will stay within the Far Northern catchment area.
Thank you.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
just for other people on the line, if this sounds intriguing to you, you can always approach whoever your service provider is now and suggest that they go to the State Council website. This will be available. It'll be a Zoom link to see, and maybe they could offer this type of service as well. Yeah. Thanks so much.
It also could be, it's a beautiful prototype. And what's different about this is that you're giving people that are usually supported by the regional center a job. And so go to your regional center and say, hey, look what Far Northern's doing. Can we do the same thing here? Because people need to be supported with this technology to really benefit from it. This is fabulous.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like we have we're kind of being a team about fielding this chat box, which is just great. I think this is a fascinating question. Will you pay for the products and/or internet through the Getting Connected program?
It is funded through Far Northern. So the Chromebook, the internet, we can build that all in. We have, everything will be included, ongoing tech support. So all I need is a referral from Far Northern and we can get going. Far Northern has been awesome with this. I just have to tell you, this is something that I think is going to bring so much to people's lives who are stuck at home. So I think this is going to be fantastic. And we're already working with a few people, so.
Well, and I would like to just acknowledge that Far Northern Regional Center Executive Director, Melissa Gruler, has joined us today. And she has been so supportive of all these creative new ideas. And so we just want to thank you, Melissa, if you want to say a few words. We just are really very pleased that you're here and to be part of this journey together.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Brandy. I'm so thankful that We Care a Lot was willing to take on this project. I see that you'll be able to reach out to many individuals and guide people into being able to stay connected. If individuals are within Far Northern Regional Center's catchment area, it really is just contacting your service coordinator. What is that need? And let's brainstorm. Let's see what We Care a Lot can do to keep people connected and work through the process. We are all on this journey together, and we will stick with this together to the end. Thank you again, Brandy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. Maybe we should have named it Stay Connected instead of Get Connected.
Brandy, would you be willing, and I was typing, but I'm not very fast, so I'll just say it, would you be willing to talk a little bit more about the facilitator positions in regards to what are the qualifications to be that position, to do that kind of work?
Well, we can provide some training, of course, but really somebody just has to know the technology. So somebody who uses Zoom on a regular basis, or, you know, has a Chromebook, has an iPad, that would be able to sit with someone and help them access the programs is really what we need.
Well, I always tell the story that most of my technology I learned from fellow self-advocates who felt sorry for me and offered me lots of one-on-one training. So again, very grateful for all the support that I've received. And do you recall, Brandy, that when you guys were beginning to kind of discuss and talk about this new project you were launching, that I was the advocate that said, can it be open to anybody? I was thinking of myself, but maybe after this gets going, this can be open to, to anyone. I'm wishful thinking.
That is actually something that we are looking into in the future once we get off the ground, is providing this, you know, making this service open to anyone. And especially, you know, I could see this for people in assisted living facilities, nursing homes, stuff like that, so that they, you know, can see their family via a Zoom meeting or something like that. So we do hope in the future to be able to open this up.
It's just so wonderful. And, you know, I'm hoping that after the Getting Connected program gets going, that, you know, your team would be able to, you know, do some presentations throughout the community to kind of tell us, how is this going? You know, it's exactly what we've all needed. And we're, you know, so excited.
Me too.
Well, does anybody have any other comments or questions? We're just so excited about showcasing and highlighting both Mains'l Services and We Care a Lot Foundation today. So we really hope that you've been inspired, you've gotten some ideas, you've gotten some new resources, some new contacts, and we just really are so appreciative that you spent the afternoon with us. So the hope for the State Council on Developmental Disabilities Festival of Learning project is we're hoping that we can continue to move this along the state and continue to showcase really creative and innovative projects that are going on to help support all of us for new ideas, support our providers, support the people that we support. And the best, as we say, the best ideas are borrowed. Or what's the other saying? Is the best form of flattery? What is it? Is imitation is the best form of flattery? So we need to remember that the reason that we want to share ideas is because all those ideas can be incorporated or developed in your own areas with always their own twist of your own interpretation. So with that being said, again, we want to thank everybody and look forward to more festivals of learning and more sharing of awesome ideas. So let's end today with everyone sharing and clapping for themselves here today.